welcome to There's a Beautiful Me. I'm your host, Crystal Davis. Thank you so much for joining me today on this show. I hope you are excited and ready to hear my next guest that is going to be here. But before we get started, you know, the base of this show is of a Proverbs 31 woman. And just last year, we just finished the Proverbs 31 Virtuous Woman passage, verses 1 through 31. So from that, I prayed about it on what is the next step, what is the next goal. So I've been doing devotionals on my own personal time, and I want to be able to just share those with you because I feel like this is very, very important when going into this show. Although we are done with the Proverbs 31 passage, that doesn't mean that this has to be the end of, you know, basically sharing and learning on how to be a virtuous woman. So today's verses are going to be from Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 10, which is the joy of the Lord is your strength. So the joy of the Lord is forever with us. What is joy really? Joy is having a feeling of great happiness, according to the Webster Dictionary. Do we really have joy or do we get upset? In this chapter, the Levites are being read the book of law, right? And as they're listening, there's a sense of sadness and grief among them. And these are orders from the Lord, whom we all love, right? But sometimes when we receive a message from God, it may not be what we want to hear. So don't think that because the message you receive is going to be something that that is always going to be something pleasant, because that's not always the case. But he uses this, you know, so that we can remain joyful because, like he said, the joy of the Lord is our strength. So as you grow and as you learn and as you adapt and be able to, you know, take things that God has given you, even in your toughest moments, you should just realize and just accept the fact that it is what it is, you know, and just use it to glorify and just praise him, you know. So let me tell you an example that I personally had. Just recently, I was not, I wasn't myself. I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't doing everything that I wanted. And especially like with this show, I had a plan. I was like, okay, you know, I have my guest and, you know, she's coming on, you know, everything's going to be great, but got a call to work and I had to work. So it's like, you know, now I'm like, oh, I hope things work out. I was getting upset, but, you know, I had to calm down and realize this is all for my good. You know, God has a plan, he has a purpose, and I can't get discouraged. So the joy of the Lord, again, is our strength. And with that, he still allowed everything to happen. You know, we were able to postpone and things were able to work out. And I just knew, and then this is also faith, where the virtue of faith comes in, where you take that and then use that within yourself and then use that as a means to take on life and take on situations that you may come across. So that's all I have to say about that. So from this passage, you know, the joy of the Lord is our strength. But stay tuned because I have a special guest.
Hello everyone, this is Anavid Reyes with your beautiful inspiration. In today's news, we're going to talk about everything positive that's going around in the US. I think it's important to not only focus on the negative that is going around, though it's very important information, but in order to liven your spirits, I'm here to bring you everything positive that is going around the US. So let's get right to it. An all-terrain wheelchair gives a wounded vet his freedom while protecting a village overseas. An improvised explosive device nearly killed U.S. Marine Michael Fox in 2011. He lost both of his legs and injured his left arm in the explosion. Though Fox has prosthetic legs that help him move around, they can only take him so far. Thanks to a gift from Freedom Alliance charity organization, Fox is hooked up with an all-terrain wheelchair that can take him places where he no longer thought were possible. Now, the next story we're going to talk about is super touching, especially if you have young children at home. A vacuum salesman gave a boy the best birthday surprise of his life. Dylan Green, a teen with autism, has been obsessed with vacuums since he was 2. his mom wrote an email to the Kirby vacuum company asking them if they could send over a salesperson for a demonstration at her son's birthday party. The salesman connected so well with Dylan, he decided to gift him his very own Kirby vacuum cleaner. Now, the last story I'm going to talk about today is about a baby who was able to see his mom for the first time. This was a moment so out of sight, it could be called a miracle. After being born, baby Louis was diagnosed with albinism, a disease that affects pigmentation in the eyes, skin, and hair. A pair of corrective eyeglasses gave baby Louis the gift of sight after months of only knowing his mother through the sound of her voice. Now, all of these stories are so impacting. They really touched me personally, and I feel like they bring a little bit of light into your world. So again, this is Anna Reyes with your beautiful inspiration news.
Hello and welcome to There's a Beautiful Me. I'm your host, Crystal Davis. Welcome. It is a new year. I know you all are excited and I have so much more in store for you for the rest of this year. But to kick off the year, I have with me a modern princess. Yes, a modern princess. And she is from the native of Zimbabwe. And she also has a background with Canadian. And then she also does her own remedies. She has her DIYs, she has her books, she has her princess time, she has her own blog, she does everything, and she is amazing. And with me right now is none other than Miss Connie herself. How are you doing today?
Crystal, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming out and just being, reaching out to me, first of all.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't know that reaching out to you literally a week ago, I would be finally meeting you and be able to have this conversation with you and share my story and hopefully learn more about your story. I'm actually really excited.
Yes, me too. So now when you reached out to me, I know you were talking about how you're going to go to Africa.
Yes.
And you wanted to share this. Can you tell me what made you want to just say, I need to reach out to Crystal. I need to get to know her. I need to take this to Africa. So what made you want to do that?
Well, what was actually kind of really refreshing about your message and your delivery from the videos that I saw and read about you on the internet was how authentic and how you were so cool about not trying to be too cool.
Yeah.
You just seem to be just the kind of woman that I think a modern princess is. A woman who's self-knowing and doesn't necessarily try to fit in. And I felt that was really clear. And I don't think you're trying to make that clear. I just think it's who you are. And I was like, you know what? I like that. She seems to be beating to the beat of her own drum, and I like women like that, and I want to meet you. So I just blindly wrote an email and didn't think I would hear back, but I should have known I would hear back because you're so cool. And there you are. 2 days later, a day later even, I got an email from you, an extensive one, and I was like, you're the kind of woman that I think African women need to see that American women are. Not all American women are what you see on reality shows and so forth. That there is, a growing population or already existing population of really classy young American women that are not, ready to snatch another woman's weave off, all the time.
They're just doing whatever.
Exactly. So I thought that would be great if I could go home and show that there's a different kind of American woman to aspire to, and not just the one that you see on television.
Yes, thank you so much. I really do, because it really touched me, because I was always thinking, like I told you, and been praying that this can reach so many more avenues than just being here. And I know that even though the show is here and then I have it online, I'm just like, if I can just reach one person, then I'm satisfied, he's satisfied, and he's going to take it where he wants to go, and he's already said
reached
there.
me.
Yes.
And,
It's the internet is interesting that way. You can just kind of click, and you can end up on one side, or you can end up on a different side. And I completely believe in that when you're spiritually guided, you're going to be pulled towards people that either have a similar message from you or have answers to your questions, and somehow will become part of your story and help you in some way. So I'm blessed to be here and meeting you literally just 2 days before I leave to go to Africa.
I'm so happy. And, I want to go ahead and go into everything that you do, because as soon as you email me back, I got your website. And I went on there, and everything, like, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this is perfect for, it fits everything to what the show is empowered behind, which is health, beauty, fitness, wellness from the inside and out. And you do stuff like, well, one, you have a book.
Yes.
And then you also have your blog.
Yes.
And then I've seen some of your videos too as well. They're
did you?
Yes, I did. You can learn more about her. It's all on her website at modernprincess.com. And now, real quick, what is, I guess, the whole princess time? Because I know what it is, but for those that don't know, just to give them a little background so they know more about it.
First, I think what I'll go back down to is how I started the whole concept. Modern Princess being one word and trademarked under one word. Is the way that it came about. Short story. As a little girl, my dad called me a little princess, and I always believed I was a little princess. And I just never ever thought that I was anything but a princess, but I wasn't necessarily given everything. I mean, my only toy I ever really remember having was a little bear. So it's not like I was spoiled and given everything. I just was considered a little princess, and whenever I'd misbehave, my father would say, little princesses don't behave that way, straighten up your... And I wanted to be a princess, so I'd be like, okay, I'm fine, I'll wipe up my tears, and then I'll cheer up and be like, and kind of put myself right, my attitude right. And then when I learned that the reason why he called me a little princess is because if anybody knows about Shaka Zulu, who was a great Zulu warrior in a long time ago, hundreds of years ago, his mother was a Bebe. And where I'm from, when you have a last name like Davis, everyone who's got the same last name, you're somehow related to them because the trees are not that long. The branches of the name are not that long. So you're somehow related to him. So Shaka Zulu's mama was a Bebe. I'm a Bebe. And then I learned that the last Zulu princess, her name was Constance, and my name being Constance, I just said, okay, well, hold on. Obviously, I'm a princess here. Whether you tell me I'm not, I don't care. But the way modern came from was the fact that I realized that when you grow up, life is not a fairy tale. You have to work for everything that you want. So that's why the modern princess is. She's a woman who works for everything that she wants. And she's not given, but even if she seems like it came to her, it came because she's spiritually inclined and she's able to channel that part of her, which some people would consider meditation, some people would consider oneness with God, and she does that during her princess time, which is the first 15 to 45 minutes of the day. And ask yourself those difficult questions: who am I? Where am I going with my life? And that was really important to me because that's where the book started. I looked up Brian Tracy, who some people might know. He's a huge speaker. He speaks about discipline and the methods of success and successful thoughts and things like that. And one of the things that he said is that the first 20 minutes are when your mind is the most susceptible to influence. So whatever you feed it in those first 15, 20, 30 minutes, your brain will latch onto that, and then you'll wonder why you attract these same things.
So I think, and then for me, like you said, it was like with Christian, it's like either reading your Bible. It's like, I know I take my time like in the morning, and it's crazy now because before I would have my alarm, of course, and then I've had one of those situations where my phone died, but I woke up like on my own, and it was like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And that's now it seems like it's normal. Like I'll still have my alarm on, but I naturally now just wake up at 5 and immediately I either pray or I go into my Bible and I do a devotion with myself. Like you said, having my me time.
It's a special time.
Yes.
People always think me time is like having a bubble bath or going shopping or having a cocktail. But there's something about that stillness.
Right, just being alone.
And I grew up with a mom and a father who was a family every morning and every night with family prayer.
Yes.
But my mom and my dad would wake up about an hour and a half earlier, and they would have couples devotion together. And then whenever my dad wasn't around, my mom would have her own devotion.
Right,
and there's something about that, right? She couldn't force me to do it because spirituality is a personal journey. And whether you're just trying to find answers about what direction you want to go with your career or your life, or whether you stay in that relationship, or whatever decision you want to make, where you move, you need to come from that place of stillness and oneness with the higher power of complete quietness.
Right, complete quietness. Now that like reading everything that you were talking about like on your website, I really thought to myself, I was like, wow, this is so encouraging, because it was kind of like confirmation for myself that now that I have this whole new mindset of waking up, reading my Bible, and going and working out, because then I'll go run.
Yeah.
I just run for at least 30 minutes or do like 2-3 miles if I can't do an actual like workout.
I did the whole extreme stuff.
Uh-huh.
So for me, it was really more about being connected. And once I became connected, I started asking myself, what do I want today? What do I need?
Right.
And not every day is a half-hour jog or an hour weightlifting. Some
Right.
days I just need to stretch.
Now the organic. I really want to touch that, because we have our tea.
Yes.
We have our tea. So let's tell everybody what we are drinking and what this does and how it's beneficial to the body.
Well, Modern Princess, which you're drinking the delicious lychee, which is a white tea. It's a light tea. It's just it's full of flavor, but it's so light.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I can taste everything.
I love this tea, pomegranate raspberry. It's a green tea. And the reason why I even have a line of teas is because that very day that I woke up, and by the way, the day that I woke up, it was a Thursday morning, and I woke up hungover. It's not like it was the only day I'd woken up hungover. I'd woken up hungover many times, but it just kind of, I was starting to get tired of the way that I was living my life. That hour that I had some tea, so I brewed a cup of tea, and then I had this tea and meditation and self-reflection time, and I already knew that tea was so therapeutic. I mean, the Chinese have been using it for thousands of years in meditation services. And I just fell in love with tea all over again, you know. And I went on a journey to find the best teas I could possibly find, and not just for them to be for health reasons, but to be so beautiful that I would want to cook with them, I would want to bake with them. And I came with this beautiful collection of teas and a natural sweetener that would allow me to continue drinking tea without necessarily using sugar, because we have a history of diabetes in my family, and most people do. Most people have a relative that does.
Especially in our culture.
Yes.
You know, we definitely have that. That's like a main... one of the top issues that we have. It's one of the main,
which is why I have this. Oh, drop something. This is the vanilla sweetener with 0 calories, no carbs, no sugar. But it's amazing. It tastes amazing. I want you to tell me what you think when you smell it. This is the vanilla one.
Oh, it's so sweet. And that vanilla is like my favorite. I love the fragrance itself. And
so you probably have vanilla candles and stuff like that.
Oh, yes. I do lotions, sprays. I've got it all. If I don't, it's like I always make sure I have some. That's really good.
And this is a strawberry. We have 4 flavors at the moment.
Oh.
And this is super cute. You just take this and you put it in your purse. I travel with them all the time.
And you can just put it in, well, if not necessarily tea, just like kind of with any
coffee, tea,
whatever.
As I said, I mix it in cocktails instead of putting high sugar concentrates. I don't know if you drink alcohol or not.
Right.
But I
an alternative
a little bit.
Yeah. You know, we all have some.
Baking and mothers that have children that have ADD or stuff like that, they can't feed their kids too much sugar, so you make frozen treats, baking. It works in anything that you'd put sugar in. It's an amazing alternative, and it's God's given plant.
Right. It's very natural. Can we take a look? Which one is it that they are, the bag that's open?
So this is the one that I'm drinking, which is pomegranate raspberry. It's got green tea, hibiscus, apple bits, and natural flavors.
Okay. If we can open it, and I'll be able to... Oh. Can we get some out? Yeah.
This one has little pieces. You can see the hibiscus there. You see the apple bits, so there's a little bit of fruit in there as well. And this is just one of my favorite teas. Now I'm going to open the white tea. If you just grab it for me, it's right next to you. I think it actually fell there on the ground.
Okay.
White tea is the least processed tea.
Okay.
Because
is it this one?
Yes, this is one. Delicious lychee. Unfortunately, the label fell out, but
but that's the one. Okay.
Yeah, and they're available at looseteats.com. LOOSETEATS.
Okay.
Oh, let me see if I can. There we go. And that's the one you're drinking.
Yes, and this smells and tastes so good.
This tea. And you see, this one's got much bigger leaves. So white teas, as I said, they're less processed, and you can see. What else is in here? I can't even tell you exactly.
This chunk?
That here is pineapple.
Okay.
Pineapple piece there.
Oh, I didn't know that you could even have pineapple.
Yes,
like
apple,
that.
pineapple, cinnamon,
Anything,
burdock
pretty
root.
much.
I have a weight loss tea that really helps me smooth everything out. A little tea helps.
Yeah,
It helps
to
for
have
sure.
it. Just to have it to drink, because
Do
this
you
is
personally
good.
use tea in your regimen?
Me, I do a lot more with alkaline water. And then, like pH water, I'll drink that. Like the black water, I know it's at HEB. And then pomegranate juice.
Oh, yes.
And aloe vera water.
Oh, you're extremely healthy.
I do. I try to do. I don't do it all at once because I just want to space it out. I'll try and do like aloe vera in the morning and then pomegranate at night, or it's just switch it up every now and then.
And I hope that you embrace using tea.
Oh yes, I am. I'm probably gonna need to get some.
Well, I'm definitely. I'll be happy to gift you with even more. White tea will kill bad breath. Opens up your one of the things I always used to do when I was a little girl, my mom always taught me was to drink hot water and lemon first thing in the morning, and then I started drinking green tea instead. And to me, I think it's one of the reasons to why I grow amazingly long nails.
Oh,
natural. I grow
so pretty.
Fairly strong hair. I use it as a toner on my face. I have to just take a little bit of just pure green tea.
Okay,
just a little bit, an ounce. Wash your face with it and just let it dry.
Okay.
It will protect your skin from sun damage. 3 cups of green tea a day will help you burn as much as 300 calories a day effortlessly without any extra working out.
Okay.
It will help you manage your weight by curbing cravings. Not that you need it, because obviously you look amazing.
Thank you.
And people that have oily skin, green tea.
See, now that is something I have an issue
you have
with.
oily skin.
Yes, and I really haven't. It's the makeup, girl. It's kind of holding it all down.
Tea balances out the pH levels on the skin as well.
Okay.
So not only will it clean out, the key word is balance, right? Because my book is A Young Woman's Guide to Creating Balance.
Yes.
And that's one thing that a lot of us don't have balance. Balance has to be unique to you according to your personal priorities and what's important to you in your life at the moment.
Well, thank you so much for sharing everything and sharing your tea. And I know it's even more things that we can go into, but I want you to just be able to, can you just tell our audience where they can find you at, and then the blogs, because I know we didn't really get to go into that, but the blogs and just to learn more about you, because you have your videos too on YouTube.
Absolutely. I would say a lot of things that you find on the internet where videos and DIYs on natural remedies of doing certain things, which you can find anywhere on the internet. I sure hope you use mine and you find them useful, because it's from trial and error. And if I can kind of answer a few questions on natural skincare, which is one thing I really needed, because my skin was breaking out like crazy, and I couldn't at that point afford to buy a lot of stuff and carry it with me, because I was traveling as well, because it weighs a lot. But I can get a lemon at any grocery store, right? I can get green tea at any store. Now you can get the best tea at teats.com. There's things like that. But really what I'd like for people to take away from hopefully learning, my most important message is those 15 minutes of Princess Time.
Tell us your social media, Instagram and Twitter.
My website is www.amodernprincess.com.
Okay.
And for loose tea, which is my high-end premier grade, amazing fragrant tea, beautiful tasting tea.
It really is, y'all.
It really is amazing. I say so myself. I mean, I went over 200 types of different teas to come up with this selection. And we'll be growing from 17 flavors right now to 27 flavors in the next 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And that's www.looseteats.com, LOOSETEATS.com, along with the natural sweetener in 4 flavors. Cute little bottles you can carry in your purse. And my social media is at Teat Squeeze.
So spell that.
Instagram,
so whatever.
TEATSQUEEZE.
Okay.
And my Instagram, A Modern Princess. Twitter at A Zulu Princess, because I'm a Zulu princess.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for joining me once again.
I'm so glad to be here. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. All right.
When the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war
and no weapon formed against, yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us. Freedom is like religion to us. Justice is juxtaposition in us. Justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, the spirit is revisiting us. True and living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. When it go down, we woman and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots be on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory, glory. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, we'll fight on to the finish. Then when it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, oh glory. We'll cry glory, oh glory,
Summer is now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gon' run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads, heroes, to become a hero. Facing the league of justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king became regal. Stronger face of Jim Crow under a bald ego. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory.